Alright, Spock, who's first question?
He took us all.
The man. Alright, you're on it.
Alright.
Run.
Alright. So between the book Anthem and the movie Equals, you can see both individualism and a collective society. In our discussion, we have 5 panelists. We have Cody, Nate, Hunter, Eric, Brody, and then I'm the moderator. So what are your guys' opening thoughts and claims?
Personally on this, I think individuality is more important than collectivism.
Because?
Because I think in a society there needs to be some collectivism in certain things like morals and some rules that need to be made for normality, and so people aren't just running around like willy-nilly. It's more civilized, but I think you need to be able to make some important decisions about your own life.
Anybody else?
I believe that even though collectivism gets a lot of backlash based off of the communist countries and based off of the books that we read, that was more of a collective society. And although individualism does have its perks, I do believe being a collective group in the end is better than being isolated by yourself.
Yeah, I think individualism is more important than collectivism, because if you have a collectivism society, there's no reason for you to work hard because you get the same thing no matter what. So people are going to work hard and your society is not going to be able to run.
Any of this side?
I share Hunter's point of view.
Alright. So do you guys believe that a society could work if it was strictly collectivism or if it was strictly individualism?
I think the movie and the book both showed it can't work. I mean, especially the book. The book showed how equality was, or I'm going to call him by equality, whatever his number was able to kind of like branch off and overthrow it in his own kind of way. But like in the movie, he didn't necessarily overthrow it, but they ran away. And there was a very high suicide rate, as they were saying. So there's multiple people who just couldn't function in it. And I mean, like Hunter said, why would you work hard if everybody in the whole society gets the same thing no matter what, and you don't get to make any decisions in your life? I don't see how that would really work out. If you're smart, you would abuse the system and not do anything because it doesn't matter.
I mean, like, I don't know if either would work, like, and be a successful society. Like, you could obviously do it because it happens in the world, but it just, you need structure in your society, and you just need to, like, enjoyable society. You need to have, like, a mixture of both almost.
So what side do you think would be better if it was just strictly one, like collectivism or individualism? If you only had to pick one?
I think individualism would be better, just because you have like rights and freedoms, and you can like not.
I think collectivism might make the society run better, but if you're going off the quality of life, I would say individualism. I would definitely go that way.
Yeah.
I feel like collectivism would be much more structured than individualism, because there's like set rules and laws that you have to follow and stuff, but individualism, you get to like make your own decisions, and I feel like I would like it better, but
I like to make my own decisions.
Alright. So then how would you describe America? Does it lean more individual or collective? Or other, if you feel like it's that?
I think we're like more towards individualism, but we have a very collective government, technically. I mean, we are, we get to vote for our people that we elect, and we get to do whatever we want. We're a capitalistic society, so that's more individual, but at the same time, if we were complete individualism, it would be total anarchy, because nobody has to listen to the person next to them, and nobody has anybody in front of them or ahead of them on a pedestal or something like that, because everybody's equal, but at the same time they're not, because they don't want to be.
I think Brody hit a really good point there. Capitalism, if you believe in that, you should believe in individualism, because you get to decide your own fate and decide whether you fail or whether you succeed. And collectivism and in like communism, where they pick a job for you and you have that, and it doesn't matter whether you are really productive or really bad at your job, that's your job for your life.
yeah, and collectivism is, everything in your life is pretty much already picked out for you. Everything you do, you have to, and not individualism, it's already picked out for you in collectivism. And you have to follow that, or there's punishments.
So then what are your guys' thoughts on like collectivist countries such as like North Korea that have communism and dictators and all that.
Absolutely horrible.
Yeah, I don't think it's successful at all.
No.
Our countries, that's why we fought wars.
And
Yeah,
I
I feel like people in North Korea absolutely hate their life and want to get out of there, but they can't because they have no decisions.
And like everything's filtered, so they don't even know that much of what goes on. Like their internet and that stuff, they can't see certain things. They only see what the government wants them to see.
Yeah, like even what we see about North Korea is what North Korea wants us to see.
That's true.
Yeah, we don't even know how bad it actually is.
Exactly.
I feel like the people there don't actually know, like,
What
they're
missing.
probably not happy, but yeah, they don't know what they're missing. So at the same time, they, like, potentially they could be thinking that, hey, life would be a lot better in America. But at the same time, since there's such like innate, North Korea is like in a box. Their society is in a box. They have no rights. They can't watch certain channels. They can't post things on social media. I feel like they don't know what they're missing, so they're gonna still try to make the best out of every day in their little box.
Yeah, they probably don't truly know how great America
Yeah,
is.
even if they're happy, they don't realize that they're happy could be so much more compared to what they have right now.
So you guys want to point out a couple like similarities, differences between the book and the movie with collectivism and individuality?
In both, they had somebody select their job for them, and then in the movie, the guy was able to switch jobs, even if he wanted to. He wasn't able to do that there.
And in both movie and the book, people were like there were people who got upset and tried to leave because it was truly horrible. And they realized that, so they kept them leaving.
Anybody else? So we can agree that there's more similarities between the book and the movie, or with the book and the movie than there are differences?
I'd say so,
Yeah, there was pretty
It's a
similar.
pretty good example of, even though there's not an actual movie over the book, Anthem, the movie Equals is very similar to.
I mean, at the end, you basically had two people running away.
Mm.
You know?
It shows really how the book really is, even though it's not based off the same thing.
Alright, so do you guys believe that there are some collectivism aspects in school? Whether it's like elementary or like college or whatnot?
I believe rules are kind of a form of collectivism. Like when you have base rules and morals in a society, that's a small portion of what collectivism is.
Because you have, in school, you pretty much have to follow those rules or you get in trouble.
I agree to more of a collectivist aspect because playing on a football team for 4 years under a coach, he preached buying into the program, which means maybe not every game you're going to have the best stats on the team, which everybody wants to have, but buying into the program means doing what is the best for the Fulton Steamers. Coach Lower preaches that all the time. He says he's going to do whatever's in the best interest for the Fulton Steamers. And him saying that just shows how he doesn't care about each individual, and each individual shouldn't care about themselves. They should care about the Fulton Steamer football team, and how we perform is based off of how much they buy into that program. So while each individual has to do their part, kind of the individuality aspect of it, but in the end, we were more of a collective football team than we were an individual.
Sure.
I think the school aspect of it is kind of individualism because you decide your own grade. They don't give everybody A. They're like you get an A, you get an A, you get an A. It's you have to get your own work.
You have to work for what you get.
Yeah.
You work for what you get in school.
And that's
You're either
just how
going
it
to
should
try
be.
hard and get a good grade and get something out of it, or you're going to be lazy and slack off and get absolutely nothing out of school.
Do you guys have any final thoughts?
I think it's a really hard and weird question because you always want individuality and stuff like that, and you always want to make your own decisions for your life, and you want to get what you earn. But at the same time, whenever you're in something, you're in a sport, and that they always preach almost collectivism, and you want to do what's best for everybody. You want to join in and work as a team, and you want to be bonding, and you want to form relationships and everybody with the people around you that think the same way as you. So it's almost like we want individuality, but yet we preach collectivism in a way.
You just gotta find that happy medium between the two.
Anybody else?
It's just, we're trying to compare black and white here. They're polar opposites, collectivism and individuality. There's no, North Korea shows, we know the quality of life North Korea people have, and they're not very happy. But at the same time, there's people in America that still commit suicide, still aren't exactly happy, and we're pretty much one of the most individual countries there is. So it's really hard to say one's better than the other one because nobody really knows completely. But the best thing that you can do is just try to find that happy medium, like Hunter said, and try to make everybody as happy as you can.
You're not always gonna make everybody happy, so,
Impossible.
yeah, it's impossible to make everybody happy. That rules.
Alright.
Easy.
You what?